This week's agenda is packed with inflation and economic growth data. What do we expect to see? Stay tuned to find out more. It's a shorter trading week in the US, but we're going to get a number of data prints which will give us an update on the health of the US economy. We've had a number of weeks digesting what Trump and his policies may mean for corporate America in terms of lower taxation and lower regulation. This week we're likely to be focusing more on the fundamentals of the economy as it stands. We'll kick off with the PCE data, so the personal consumption expenditure data, which is an inflation read in the US. What we're expecting to see is a reading for October, which will be in line with the print we had in September, and that is at a headline level an increase of 0.2% in the month, and in a core level 0.3% positive in the course of the month. We're also expecting to see economic growth coming at a very strong level for the third quarter at 2.8% positive. Now, a number of these dynamics will come together when we get the release of the Federal Reserve's minutes from the most recent meeting. What we're expecting to see is an acknowledgement that inflation is starting to trend a little bit hotter at this point. And the number of this strength is coming through from the services component in the economy. And as a result of this, we've seen the market reduce the number of interest rate cuts they expect to see over the next 12 months. So still expecting interest rates to come down, but the pace at which they come down may be pushed out a little bit, partially because of the strength of the economy as it stands today, but partially because what it means under the Trump administration. In Europe, we're also going to get a health check on inflation. At this point, we're getting preliminary reads across Spain, Italy, France and the Netherlands. And interestingly, although policy is very different to in the States, we're seeing similar trends. We're seeing inflation which is starting to trend a little bit higher. And again, it's a service component which is driving a lot of this. So it's expecting to see a reading move from 2% on an annual basis to 2.4% as well. So expecting to see some volatility around the inflation trends, and this is a perspective which we've been setting out in terms of our True Potential Investment House view. It's a quiet week in the UK, but in Japan we've moved past the post-election volatility and back to fundamental reads. We're going to get an update on retail sales, so a health check on the consumer and their confidence. We'll get an update on the health of industrial production, which will be very important given the developments which we've seen in China in terms of fiscal and monetary injections to really support growth and the key manufacturing hub of the world, along with unemployment data as well. So a number of important economic data prints which will feed into our long-term view of True Potential. So please do tune in, please do keep up to date and watch Morning Markets. Thank you for watching.
This video is not a recommendation or personal financial advice. With investing, your capital is at risk. Investments can fluctuate in value and you may get back less than you invest.